day 34 of me reviewing my journey from zero to $30,000 a month. Okay, so I think I came up with a strategy, and I think I call. So the name of the strategy is basically cold calling in order to examine the marketplace struggle and learn the skill that's needed. Because I realize I'm not necessarily an expert marketer, but I know enough to like to get my hands around. And also, I'm not necessarily an expert in this domain yet, but 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 I don't mind learning them and becoming an expert at it if it's necessary, and that's the thing. So I feel like when I'm cold calling, most of my cold call is mostly to do like market research, and I kind of like use marketing as a Trojan horse. Okay, and also, so I think for the next 30 days, a lot of my focus is gonna be sharpening my cold calling and sales skill. Because when I started this journey, I started uh, I started with an SEO. I started with SEO, but the thing is, SEO and when I started cold calling, SEO alone couldn't really get me in the door. I had to evolve my agency into a full marketing company because SEO was just like a piece of the puzzle, and I needed the whole map, and the whole map is marketing. So eventually, I had to evolve it into a marketing company, and now the end goal is to turn it into a consulting firm. That's why today, what I've been doing is studying the big firm, and right now, uh, most of my focus has been on McKinsey, but the more I study, the more so apparently McKinsey have so so apparently McKinsey is strongest at strategy framing and high level transformation, but weaker in execution, heavy. Uh, so yeah, weaker in execution, heavy or niche area. So apparently, so McKinsey seem like it's so most of the framework that I'm studying from McKinsey. I feel like when you're starting, McKinsey is like a good firm to like um uh to emulate and copy. And Boston Consulting Group is known for deep financial modeling and portfolio strategy. Their growth share metrics is still good for product market analysis. And then Bain is good for reputation for. So eventually, I'm probably gonna start do a lot of study on Bain when I'm you could say when I'm on execution mode, because right now I'm still kind of like in market research mode. So eventually, I'm probably gonna transition to Bain, which is good for reputation, for execution, private equity consulting, and driving measurable result. Think think, how do we actually increase EBITDA 20%? And then Deloitte and Accenture is dominant in digital transformation, which is kind of like my area of expertise right now, and then operation and tech heavy solution. So I eventually I'm gonna, you know, start studying Bain and get like but lots of framework. I think Deloitte is like the largest consulting firm out of all of them. And then finally, we got Roland Berger and Oliver Wyman. It's known for industry-specific insight like automotive risk, etc. So this last firm is probably the one I'm not gonna study a lot. So if I only study McKinsey and mirror like McKinsey, I wish I wish to sound like a high level strategist, but missing how to execute. So the smart play for me, I think, is to start with McKinsey. So build my foundation and framework, structure, communication, and strategy clarity, and then as I go further along the journey, add Bain Playbook. So basically, emphasize measurable outcome and ROI, and that should resonate with small businesses and mid-market client I'm serving now. So basically, I have some type of memo or like slogan. We don't just plan. We make you money. And then after that, pull in BCG, which is Boston Consulting Group. Especially their portfolio financial framework for when client asks about where to invest or expand. And then I'm likely to borrow from Deloitte and Accenture later, as I expand into actually as I expand into digital operational transformation. They should give me enterprise level execution language. I'm not too sure about the last one. So that's what I've been doing today, studying big firms so that I can, because I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. So eventually, like your strategy should have his own framework, you know, moving forward. But at the foundation, you kind of need something that work already. And I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm just gonna, get what's already working for the big firm and then apply it here and then the get the ball rolling. And then eventually, after I got more hands on the market that I'm currently in, which is quite small, I might evolve and create my own framework that eventually small firm will have to copy, because I'm not there. And so eventually I'm gonna have to create some type of elite framework that firm when starting we have to copy like your strategy. And so yeah, that's the plan. And cold call is like the Trojan horse into penetrating this market. What else? Uh, so yeah, so that's why next week, today I'm probably gonna finish up my. I actually can't tell if I should, because right now most of most of the prospect on my list are mostly in the Indianapolis area. I don't know if I should, because I'm familiar with the Indianapolis area. I don't know if I should expand my prospect list into the entire state, like just stick to Indianapolis for now. Because right now, even for the roofing niche that I'm currently in, uh, uh, I'm, I'm, there's not much. I think I probably have about like 200 prospect left, like high quality prospect left to call. Because I think I've called more than 100 roofing company by now. And to be fair, probably like almost half of them were straight to voicemail. So I'm still gonna have to circle back in the future. So, so once I'm done with roofing, I don't remember I have to go to bed because I had a list of. I had a list of. I'm gonna have to go through back. I'm gonna have to, because roofing was at the top of the list, and then I don't remember which niche was second, but I had 50 niche that I'm about to start calling in the Indianapolis area, and then and then yeah. think? So the list that I made up for the list that I made up for the 15 niche, they're like buried somewhere, but I have to look it up. Because starting next week, I might start, cold calling. So today I've been really focusing heavy on the foundation of like your strategy and studying the other big player in the game, and then kind of like study the framework. So McKinsey have that 7S framework, which is the famous framework for organizational design and alignment used in change management. There's there's so much framework that I've been studying, and I'm about to start getting like the best type of framework from like most of the big one, and each framework is good. Each framework for each firm is good, depends on which stage I'm currently in. Yeah, so there's that. I don't think I have much to say today because I'm just gonna like I'm gonna start getting I'm gonna start I'm gonna start finish my prospecting list today. Uh, 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 so finish putting together a prospect list for roofing, and then the other 15 niche, probably like get one or two more niche on the 15 niche that I chose. That's it. Yeah, I don't have much to say. Bye.